This loser begs the mafia boss for a loan and offers his house as collateral, but when the boss sees the chicken coop he lives in, he refuses. So Chen starts begging, and the mafia boss, having the heart of an angel, gives in. Before Chen leaves, the boss says there's one condition, and a bit later, Chen exits the place because he actually got the money and is giggling to himself because he knows the apocalypse is coming. In his previous life, a solar flare hit Earth and obliterated everyone and everything. Back with the boss, his henchman tells him the loser might be trying to trick them, but the mafia boss is confident. Chen is just an idiot. Chen borrowed money from every loan shark in the city because he remembers how last time Earth dried up and food became scarce, and people who stocked up on supplies could basically rule the world. He plans to use the money to prepare now, but then he spots a couple of hotties. He remembers how the ice cream lady ripped him off last time, so it's time to get revenge now. He slams the table asking for 10 of every flavor, and the girls turn into gold diggers when they see this rich boy. The clerk asks if he's for real, because that will be over 20,000 yuan. One girl comments that if he can actually afford it, she'll become his slave immediately, and he comments that she'd better get the chains, which pisses her off, but as soon as he shows the money for the ice cream, everyone freezes. Even the manager comes over, and Chen says he wants to buy all the ice cream they have. The manager says everything costs roughly 1,000,000 yuan, and Chen thinks of another diabolical plan. He says he'll pay 300,000 now, and the rest when they deliver the ice cream. He tells the girls they can have any ice cream they want, except for the one who needs to become his slave now. She falls with her forehead kissing the ground, and as the day comes to an end, the loser is just relaxing. He summons his magical storage to store the ice cream in it, where it'll stay frozen until taken out. Thanks to this storage ability, he will become the king of the apocalypse. His phone rings and it's Luan Cheng calling. After his parents died, she appeared like an angel but betrayed him in the end. He picks up the phone and she tells him she lost her gold necklace and would like a new one. Chen smirks, saying he'll get her 10, and explains how he got some money from crypto trading. He asks her to be his witness for a bigger loan, promising to give her a part of it. And after ending the call, Chen can't wait to see her soon. He then buys a building, which he's going to turn into a fortress with fortified windows and 3-meter thick walls. He wants solar panels and everything needed to turn this place into a self-sustaining palace. The safe house designer can't believe the requests, but just smirks knowing he'll make money off this lunatic easily. Chen says he'll pay any amount of money, as long as the guy gets the job done perfectly. They shake hands with the guy already planning how to drain Chen of every penny. Chen now needs to get food supplies and weapons to defend himself. A gun dealer hits him up, telling Chen to come to that place tonight at 8 p.m. Night comes and Chen is there when he suddenly spots a girl being chased by thugs. Her breasts bounce in the night as she hides behind Chen. She begs him to save her, and Chen knows her from his past life too. The thugs grab the girl back, pulling her by the hair, and Chen remembers how she was the smartest and curviest girl in the school, which is instantly confirmed by this legendary jiggle. One thug says they can make her pay with her body, but Chen shouts for them to stop. They look at him and one thug rushes to knock Chen out, but he ducks down and breaks the thug's wrist like a twig. The guy cries in pain as Chen punches him dead center and sends him flying back into trash cans. Suddenly, a system activates even though Chen didn't have it in his past life. The thug holding the girl does some fan service, but Chen, the party pooper, knocks him out with some stones. A new guy jumps in to help Chen and Yu, and the remaining thugs dash at him, but he blocks their punches easily. The new guy helps Chen finish them all off, and after a couple of moments, the thugs flee in horror from the brutal beatdown. Chen helps Yu stand up, and she thanks him but says she needs to go. Mukken praises Chen for helping the girl, and Chen says he's actually here to buy guns from Mukken. Mukken strikes a heroic pose, which is interrupted when Chen calls him an idiot, but the system warns Chen that this will increase weapon prices, so Chen turns into an idiot himself, saying he's just kidding. Mukken offers him a really strong gun, and Chen is grateful for the discount he's been given too. Chen even asks for more free stuff, like extra bullets or a silencer, and Mukken can't believe the audacity. He gets really mad and yells at Chen for trying to rip him off. Chen placates Mukken, noting it's fine if there's nothing else, and completes the payment transfer. That night at the hotel, Chen visits Liu and sets her on his lap as she plans to suck him dry, but not in a good way. They meet with the mafia boss as Liu signs the witness paper, not knowing she's going to inherit the debt. As soon as she's unable to pay it back, they'll find a way to charge her somehow. Chen is sitting back in the cuck chair, thinking how this went smoother than expected. Later, the safe house designer explains how strong a place he made for Chen. Chen thanks him and pays up. He's in the house watching TV when the news warns about a solar flare, and Chen takes out his gun and gets ready because the apocalypse is finally here, as he sees a huge magma ball descending on the city. The news warns people about the rising heat, but Chen knows this is only the beginning, and it's only going to get worse. As Chen over here complains about the heat while shopkeepers start urging people to stock up on food and water. The girls complain that the watermelons are too expensive, so the shopkeeper offers a discount if they offer him their watermelons, but they refuse. Other people ask for a discount but are refused since they have no melons of their own. Chen knows this guy too. His name is Da Fu, and he got our guy in so much trouble in his past life by falsely accusing him of stealing, which tanked Bro's reputation more than Logan Paul's visit to that forest. He spots a crazy high price for chips and asks Dafu if they cure cancer, and this immediately pisses Dafu off as the system notifies Chen about it. Dafu grabs them back as his irritation level increases, but Chen smirks and says he should watch out for thieves at night. Dafu goes full rage mode, but Chen tells him to calm down, explaining that all these negative emotions come from the store's bad feng shui, and Dafu, like a doofus, believes him. Chen enters manipulation mode just to call him mentally deficient at the end, which enrages Dafu again as he attacks Chen. Chen just turns to leave and throws him a pretty penny, which only increases Dafu's anger. That night, Chen's system lets him know he consumed all of Dafu's negative emotions, which allowed him to expand his personal storage. The following morning, Dafu gets to his shop, but his heart drops when he sees everything has been stolen. This causes his negative emotions to rise even more as Chen absorbs them all like a slurp juice. Dafu runs out crying, but the people around him don't believe it, thinking he staged it for insurance money. Some even call the shop haunted, and this sends Dafu into an emotional collapse, which just nets more points for Chen. Chen decides to add fuel to the fire and yells about how good the chips are. Dafu immediately realizes these chips are from his stock and accuses Chen of stealing, but Chen tells him that getting physical without proof is not a smart move. Chen tells Dafu he'll give him the half-eaten bag of chips, and this increases Dafu's anger even more. Chen then tells the crowd to be the judge, whether he stole it from here or bought it at a different store. Chen then tells Dafu to search his place for the goods, but if he doesn't find any, he has to give Chen the store's backup generator. Dafu agrees, and they immediately head to Chen's place. Dafu can't believe Chen owns such an expensive home and such expensive clothes. After finding nothing, Dafu storms out, but Chen stops him, asking for the generator. Dafu begs him not to take it, but the people around get pissed at Dafu for not being a man of his word. Dafu tries to punch Chen, but his arm gets twisted as he begs for mercy. Chen tells him to bring the generator quickly. Just then, his girlfriend Liu calls, saying she has been followed by some thugs lately, and asks if this is about the money he loaned using her signature. Bro gaslights her hard, saying she needs to trust him, and asking her if they know where she lives. Liu says they don't, and Chen tells her she's probably just a bit paranoid. That's all. She then spots his plate of food and asks where he got it, but bro says it's nothing and he's got way more. Suddenly she goes from gold digger to food digger, and seeing salmon almost makes her squirt. She asks Chen to let her stay at his place for a while, saying they can have fun together. Chen tells her he'll pick her up and asks for her address, so she sends it to him. He tells her to wait for him like a good girl. He hears someone knocking on his door, and it's old lady Wang with a boy. She tries to come in, asking if they can stay since their AC is broken, but Chen literally slaps her out, saying she always insulted him while he was growing up. She used to call him and his mom poor morons, but now she apologizes, saying that was a long time ago. She tells him he has no humanity for holding a grudge for so long, and bro hits her with a cold. At least I have a working AC. He slams the door in her face, and he increases her anger stat. Chen then grabs his phone and makes an anonymous call to the mafia boss, giving them Liu's address. The scene shifts to Liu getting ready to help Chen evolve from a simp to Will Smith. She lights a cigarette and hears a knock on the door. As she opens it, her face turns terrified. It's the mafia boss, who just pushes her aside and comes in. He tells her they're here to collect the money, and she says Chen should be the one to pay it back. The guy takes out a contract saying her name is on it, and she needs to pay it back, then orders his goons to confiscate everything valuable from her place. She begs them to stop, but a bit later we see that they didn't. They've got all her jewelry, but the boss comments that it's not even enough to cover the interest. He asks her if she has any other ways to repay, and she says Chen's got a lot of supplies and he'll come to pick her up soon so they can get the money from him. She calls Chen only to realize he's blocked her number. She tries again and again, but nothing. The mafia boss tells her it's obvious Chen sold her out, and she can't believe it. He grabs her hair as she begs him to go after Chen instead of her. He drags her out, while Chen has a glass of wine and hopes Liu is enjoying the apocalypse. The mafia boss then asks Liu about Chen, and she cries while saying he's got it all: food, water, AC. She begs him to stop, and he just slaps her again as the greed kicks in. He tells his thugs it's time to move, and after they leave, Liu is left crying and cursing Chen to death. The mafia thugs search the city streets and find old lady Wang, who tells them where Chen lives. She can't wait for them to punish Chen, but when they reach his place, they see it's well barricaded. One thug rushes in to kick the door down but gets zapped and falls to the floor unconscious. As the others grab him, they get zapped too, leaving the rest looking completely confused. The speaker starts playing a song while even more guys get electrocuted. Chen's just chilling inside, saying they made an oopsie by stepping on the electric floor, and the mafia boss, who changes his look more than Mystique from X-Men, tells Chen to pay up. Chen comments that the debt belongs to Liu, and the mafia boss says women's bodies are juicy but food supplies are even juicier in the apocalypse. Chen warns them to leave while he's in a good mood, as he presses a button that electrocutes a couple more thugs. The mafia squad runs off as the boss sends a couple of threats Chen's way. Old lady Wang stares at Chen's apartment like she's facing Star-Scourge Radon. The following day, the temperature rises to 52 degrees, while Chen's just chilling, watching the news, which reports numerous deaths due to heat stroke. His phone rings as he sees Dafu and Lady Wang insulting him. With even more people asking for help, he sips a cool soda and responds with a simple no, which increases their negative emotions tenfold. He gathers 1,000 negative emotions, and the system starts calculating the rewards. A bit later, he opens his fridge, takes a photo of the groceries inside, and posts it online to flex on them. He then says that if they want the food, they should offer something in return, which pisses the people on the forum off even more. He lays back, but just then the system notifies him of his reward. A new skill called space cutting allows him to cut anything within a 3-meter range. He decides to test it on an apple and splits it in half instantly, and thinks about how unlocking new skills like this was not part of his past life. That night, Liu takes the mafia boss to Chen's place, with the other mafia boss confirming that she's not lying. He pulls her closer, saying she'll be rewarded for the info tonight and that this damn chat bubble is blocking the view. The boss spots someone behind a corner, and it's Dafu, who yells that he'll help them take Chen down and says that he knows a shortcut to Chen's place. As they head toward Chen's apartment, they see people fighting for food on the streets. They reach Chen's building, and he's just waiting for them outside while eating salmon. The mafia boss tells him to hand over his supplies, and Chen wipes his face saying it's rude to disturb people while they're eating. The boss orders his thugs to seize Chen, but he dodges their attacks like they're moving in slow motion. He then feeds one thug some asphalt and kicks the other straight in the liver. Someone activates a smoke bomb which makes the mafia thugs scatter and run away, and as Chen turns around he sees Mukong, who's here to help and to trade some guns with Chen too. Chen offers him some cold drinks, and Mukong says that the mafia clan has been stealing his business for a while now. He tailed them for the last couple of days and wasn't expecting them to lead him to Chen's place. He tells Chen that the mafia clan has a lot of stored water, and he'd like them to team up and get it together. Chen accepts but says he gets 90% of the loot, which shocks Mukong, but Chen explains that if he doesn't want it, then they have no deal. Mukong begs for an 80-20 split because he thinks Chen must be OP since he is so confident. Chen agrees but says that all the new goods they get go through Chen first, and they make a deal. Later that night, they reach the base and see thugs patrolling everywhere. On top of selling water, they also sell girls. Chen says he'll go solo and give a signal from Mukong to distract everyone. He then jumps down and gets stopped by a guard immediately, who asks who he is. He shows his ID card, but the guard doesn't buy it, so Chen quickly uses his space-cutting skill, slits the guy's throat, and walks away. Another guard spots this and opens fire immediately, but Chen dodges the bullets like he's in the Matrix, then splits the other guy up too. Hearing the gunshots makes the rest of the guards rush in, and as Chen waits in the shadows, he gets grabbed by a mysterious hand. The guards can't find him, and we see that the girl who rescued him is Yu, the girl Chen saved earlier, and she explains that she was captured and brought here. Chen asks if she knows where the water storage is, and she does. They throw a bucket to distract the guards and move toward the water storage area. Chen tells her to hide and wait for him, and when she leaves, he blasts the wall down and kills the guard inside swiftly. After a while, Yu goes in, worried for him, but as someone approaches through the fog, she tries to hit him with a brick, only to realize it's Chen. He tells her he got the water and that they should leave. He then shoots a gun in the air, giving Mukong a signal, so Mukong pushes a cart loaded with Molotov cocktails into the base and burns it all down. As the guards try to put the fires out, Chen and Yu just walk out like it's no big deal. Suddenly Liu appears, begging Chen to take her with him, saying she forgives him for all he's done to her so far. She cries, saying she's forced to please old men here, and promises she'll serve Chen well if he saves her. He lists all the times she betrayed him, asking if she'd forgive him if she were in his shoes. But what's worse is that she got him killed in his last life too. He slaps her away and tells Yu to follow him, and as they turn to walk away, Liu's hatred stat skyrockets to 999, and she says they won't be making it out alive. The mafia boss gets to the water storage room and sees all the water gone, with Chen's signature on the wall. Liu crawls to the boss and says that Chen insulted him and promised to kill them all. The mafia boss gets enraged hearing this and orders his men to gather. As they're about to take Chen down, they meet in front of the base and all rush toward Chen, who throws a torch that creates a firewall that stops the thugs. This makes the mafia boss's hatred stat hit 999 too. Chen thanks him, because this just allowed him to unlock a new skill called Space Barrier. They get back home and Mukong can't believe Chen pulled it off. Yu also thanks him for saving her and bringing her there. Chen says it's no problem and Yu starts falling in love with him, but their little romantic moment is interrupted by Mukong, who asks Chen how he pulled it off. Getting all these water bottles there is impossible for one person. And as the scene shifts, we see they're basically living in a water bottle fortress now. Chen just comments that Mukong should worry about selling all this water, and then he gets back to his conversation with Yu. She says that both her parents disappeared just after her graduation, but suddenly they feel the heat rising in Chen's home. They peek outside and see a huge fire covering the entire city, and the security cameras show that it's the thugs burning it down. Lady Wang begs Chen to save her kid, and Mukong can't believe that the mafia would go as far as setting the entire neighborhood on fire. Yu asks Chen what their next move is, but Chen knows the mafia boss wants to use moral bait on him, so that Chen will try to save the people outside. The mafia boss yells for him to help the people, as his men make the fire even bigger. The fire swallows the entire neighborhood now, and Mukang says that even staying inside Chen's place is deadly now. Chen smirks and activates his special protection system, with water hoses coming out and raining nano-grade aerogel on the fires around them, which puts them out immediately. Muchong cannot believe Chen has this military-grade technology, but the mafia boss orders his men to light the fire again because Chen can have infinite aerogel in his base. One of the guys comments that they're running low on fuel, and Chen comes out on the balcony with a speakerphone to taunt them a bit. This makes their anger stat go up, but seeing Chen's house, the mafia boss decides to make it his own. He decides to use Lady Wong and other civilians now to try and bait Chen out. Lady Wong cries and begs for mercy, but Chen knows having a soft heart in this world is a death wish. The mafia boss grabs an old guy, and Chen remembers that when he was killed in his past life, that old man Wong did his best to save him. He tells Yu and Muchong to stay inside and heads out. He tells the mafia boss to leave the civilians alone. The mafia boss agrees under some easy conditions, which include Chen dying too. Chen tells him that he's never doing that and challenges him to gamble for it instead. The mafia boss agrees and says that they'll play high or low dice. Chen picks high, and their gambling showdown is about to start. They shake their dice and, like battling Pokemon, send them to fight for them. The boss cheats and gets 3 sixes, with his thugs cheering him on. Chen smirks and uses his cut skill to slice the dice up, saying that the boss set him up with bad dice. He actually manages to slice them in a way that creates more dice, with a combined total of 21, which is higher than the mafia boss's 18. Chen tells him to leave the city for good, but the mafia boss is having none of it as his anger goes up by another 500 points. He goes to stab Chen, but Chen dodges easily and throws a smoke bomb, isolating the mafia boss from the rest of his crew. They go in to help him, and as soon as they spot Chen, they open fire on him, but he starts cutting them down too. When the smoke clears, there's not a single scratch on Chen thanks to his new barrier skill. The mafia boss fires a rocket at Chen, but Chen activates the barrier again and completely negates the attack. The mafia boss freezes in horror after seeing the missile stopped mid-air, and Chen asks if he's really not going to honor his word after losing the gambling game. He cuts the rocket into pieces and walks towards the mafia boss, and the boss is standing there terrified. He suddenly starts begging Chen to make a deal. He says that keeping him alive will be more useful to Chen than just killing him right now, and says that he's got medical supplies hidden and will give them to Chen if he spares him. Chen whispers that he's got a lot of stuff stored in his home, but the mafia boss says that he doesn't have any medicine, so Chen agrees to cooperate with him for now. He hugs the mafia boss and says that their business ends tonight, and tells him that he can leave. The mafia boss orders his crew to follow him, and as they leave, Chen comes up with a different plan. He checks on old man Wang, and the geezer starts thanking him, saying that he'll serve Chen from now on. Chen just tells him to rest for now. Later that night, the mafia crew talks about their failed raid while their boss is already planning to break his word again and betray Chen. His thugs call him a genius, like he just invented the wheel and didn't commit a simple betrayal. Just as he's about to give orders to one of the thugs, blood starts gushing out of his mouth instead of words and he collapses on the floor. We see Chen on top of a building saying goodbye to the mafia boss after using his space cutter skill. The following day, the heat rises so much that the authorities instruct citizens to go north to the newly built shelters, but Chen knows that's going to turn into hell soon too. He knows that heat-resistant mutant beasts will appear soon, awakening special powers in some people as well, who will fight the beasts but also each other, so Chen decides to turn his safe house into a survival fortress. The hungry mob wants to take Chen down and get his food supply, so they start slamming on his door, saying that through a democratic vote they've decided he needs to share his safe house and supplies with them. Chen is just cooking and sharing his food online, which only increases the negative emotions of people seeing his posts, like watching all those thoughts on Clavicular's stream. As soon as Chen leaves his safe house, a flying meat cleaver is there to greet his face. Chen dodges the cleaver, but Saitama from Temu charges at our bro, who grabs him by the hand and breaks it like a twig, then snatches the other cleaver and does a couple of quick slices on the guys attacking him, not killing them but hurting them enough for their wounds to fester in this hellish heat. He then goes to a factory in the West District and disables the cameras with high-tech hacking skills called Slash and Destroy. He goes inside and immediately realizes it's a trap, because the room is filled with poisonous gas, and 2 figures appear behind him and inject him with a mysterious liquid. The doctor asks if he's feeling better, and Chen wonders who they are. The guy introduces himself as Lin, a biomedical scientist, and his student Su Rui is just asking for instant pregnancy at this point. Chen thanks Lin for saving him from the poisonous gas, and they walk through the facility, with Lin offering Chen meds if he wants. Bro loads up his bag like a kid getting candy for Halloween, thanks Lin and walks out. Lin smirks and says that they'll see each other soon, and after getting back home, Chen definitely thinks Lin is hella sus, because of his ominous smirk. Suddenly, someone on the forum asks for antibiotics and is willing to pay good money, but Chen, basically turning into a devil at this point, responds that he's got them, but he's not going to sell them. He opens his bag and suddenly spots a tracker on it, so he takes it off and wonders who put it on the bag. He sticks the tracker on a stray cat and sends it off to wander around the city to confuse his spy. It works, as we see Lin spying on him back at the West District factory. The guys Chen beat up keep begging for medicine on the forum, with another woman begging for water for her child. Chen remembers that, in his past life, she used this trick to get a lot of donations, so he decides not to help her either. He sees her with a big stock of water and calls her out for it on the forum, and she cannot believe he installed cameras in the hallways too. As others hear she has water, they come knocking on her door with their axes, barge in, and demand that she hand over all of her supplies. They take it all and beat her up for good measure too. Back to the Saitama-looking ass, who's more like a Michael Jackson-looking ass now because he's dead. People see this and begin to panic, but suddenly Dr. Lin appears, calming them down and saying he's a doctor who's going to help them. He inspects the dead bodies and says that they have to be dealt with immediately, then gives some medicine to people as they all gather around him and start thanking him. However, Lin is here for Chen because the signal from the tracker stops somewhere near here for a moment. Chen is watching from another window and wondering why Lin is here. He immediately figures that Lin must be the one who placed the tracker, when suddenly he gets a text from a mysterious person warning him about the doctor. Chen has no idea who this mysterious person is. We see a shady guy on the rooftop of another building spying on them with his telescope. Chen figures there's one more guy besides Lin spying on him too. He tries calling the number back but is unable to. He wonders if this person wants him to deal with Lin, as we cut back to Lin telling people they can come to him for help whenever they need it. Chen notices a stain on Lin's coat and remembers that in his past life, doctors would appear to help people but would kidnap them for their own research. Lin puts up a sign telling everyone where they can find him. He finally reaches the cat with his tracker, and I guess this has to be a spyception because while he's spying on Chen, Chen's spying on him. That night, a bunch of people come to Lin's warehouse as he checks them out, while Chen's still spying on him. Lin takes blood from the people and Chen knows this is suspicious because the people are already severely malnourished. A guy runs in saying his brother needs urgent treatment, and Lin takes out a serum that increases healing. He administers it to the guy, who almost faints from it. Later, the guy tells his brother it feels like his bones are burning when suddenly his body starts to mutate. He grabs his brother by the collar and slams him to the ground because being grounded is a good trait to have. Chen comes out, and the guy immediately goes to attack him. Chen dodges and immediately realizes the guy's strength has been increased by that drug. The guy attacks Chen again, but Chen cuts him up with a quick slash, killing him on the spot. We see Lin arrive later, because he put a tracking device in the drug too, and he's in disbelief when he sees the guy's head detach from his body. The doctor realizes the same cut was made on the mafia boss's body too, and knows these cuts aren't something an ordinary human can do. He immediately thinks Chen is the one doing it, but then spots the other guy still alive, barely. He asks what happened to his brother, and the doctor shows him Chen's picture, asking if he knows him. The guy says he knows where Chen lives, and Lin takes him back to his laboratory, where he experiments on his body for the sake of science. The scene shifts to Chen at home, wondering what Lin's goal is, and he's about to find out real soon since Lin just buzzed his doorbell. Chen lets him in, and Lin says he came to check up on him. Lin comments that Chen's place is an absolute fortress, and asks if he somehow already knew the heat apocalypse was about to happen. Chen plays it off saying it was on a big discount, so he bought it. Lin then switches the topic, commenting on Chen's neighbor who died, plus the mafia boss too. Both of them died from the same cut, and were giving Chen problems. Chen acts like an idiot, asking who might have killed them, then begs Lin to let him know who the killer is once he finds them. This leaves Lin speechless for a moment as he explains that the person who killed them is not an ordinary human being, and he asks if maybe Chen is the one who killed them. So Chen calls him a joker and asks why he brought his medical kit with him. He also asks Lin how he found out where his apartment is, and Lin shows him the other neighbor, explaining he's the one who told him Chen's address. Chen acts surprised and confused, and Lin comments that he's taking care of the guy so he'll be fine. Chen asks about the real reason Lin is here, and the doctor presents him with an immune enhancer drug, and Chen asks if he needs to shake it before use, like a soda. Lin explains that a lot of people will die from the heat, but the exceptional ones will evolve, and he wants to experiment on Chen, but Chen flat out refuses, and Lin tells him he doesn't have to answer right away, and that he can come anytime to his laboratory if he wants to cooperate. Lin leaves thinking this visit just confirmed Chen is a very special human being. Chen decides to show Lin what real evolution looks like. A bit later, we see Lin's patient undergoing a mutation. With Lin watching carefully and seeing the experiment succeed, he orders the guy Zhang to go and bring Chen to him alive. Witnessing Lin's human experimentation, his student develops a sudden conscience, though her outfit suggests otherwise. She tells Lin this is not ethical, but the doctor explains that in the apocalypse they have to go further than ethics to survive. Chen leaves the laboratory and jumps across the rooftops in search of Chen, but Chen finds him first. Chen teases him, which skyrockets Zhang's anger, and then Chen runs away, baiting Zhang into following him. Like a savage beast, Zhang has no brains and follows, while Chen attacks from the side with his space-cutting skill, but it doesn't even scratch Zhang's skin. Zhang then lunges at Chen, who keeps running away and insulting him, which pisses Zhang off even more, to the point that his blood literally starts boiling. Zhang quickly dashes behind Chen and manages to land a blow, making Chen bleed, while Lin spectates all of this from his lab, with his students' morality growing more and more. Zhang grows spikes and attacks Chen with all he's got. Chen keeps blocking but also takes damage bit by bit. He keeps insulting Zhang more and more, which spirals him into even more rage. Lin's about to bust a nut seeing his creation continuously evolve, and I'm about to bust a nut seeing his students shake like that. Zhang sends a spike attack at Chen, and Chen keeps dodging and insulting him, hits the new threshold needed to level up, and unlocks a new skill called Space Rift, which he immediately uses to literally distort time and space and Zhang's body. Zhang faints, and Chen takes the tracker off his neck and sends a threat to Lin before cutting the signal. Lin now officially busts a nut seeing Chen's power. A mysterious guy applauds Chen, and then steps out and introduces himself as Shikon. He compliments Chen's skills, but Chen's ready to send this guy to God. Shikon says they can work together to take Lin down, explaining that he's the one who sent Chen that anonymous text a couple of days ago. He introduces his guild, the Arc Team, and offers Chen a spot. Chen realizes this means people have already started awakening skills in this world. Chengxin explains that their guild offers true evolution, not mutations like Lin's, and says that he's here to recruit special people who awaken great powers and help them reach godhood. Hearing him talk this way, Chen calls him a cult nut. Chen cuts Chengxin's business card in half and walks away, saying that he works solo and doesn't need anyone directing his life. This only makes Chengxin like Chen more, as he asks if it's really smart to operate solo in the apocalypse. Chengxin teleports away, saying that Arc's doors are always open to Chen. Chen finds the guy interesting, but decides to focus on Lin for now and take him down ASAP. Chen gets to Lin's lab, which is filled with zombified experiments. The doctor comes out, welcomes Chen, and thanks him for coming to help his human evolution research. He explains that throughout history, evolution was secured through human sacrifices. Chen asks if he's done with his yappuccino, saying that he doesn't care about humanity's progress. He then activates his Space Rift skill, but Lin doesn't falter, saying that after his last fight with Zhang, Chen's stamina must be running out. Lin clicks a button, releasing all the monstrosities around them as they charge at Chen. As Chen fights them, Lin continues his yap session. Chen decides to finish this quickly because he's low on stamina. After dealing with all the monsters, he goes to finish Lin off. Lin's dying words are that taking him down will not stop his plans, because he's already sent all the data from his research out to other scientists like him. As Chen goes to leave, Lin's student calls for him and gives him medicine to heal quickly from his recent wounds. Chen says that he can't trust her, and she says that's understandable and tells him to follow her. Then, they reach the medicine storage room, and she tells him to take whatever he wants from there because she's leaving. Chen asks where she's going, and she responds that she's going to the Northern Research Institute to work with moral scientists, because that was her goal all along. I mean, if all the doctors looked like her, I wouldn't mind getting sick often. After she leaves, Chen activates his storage, takes all the supplies from there, and burns the place down. The temperature outside is reaching 58 degrees Celsius, which has caused permafrost to completely melt and people to start dying from heat stroke far more often. Chen knows it's only going to get worse, so he needs to level up faster. He hits Mutang up, asking if he needs to restock on water for sale. They meet up with a random buyer in a dark alley. Chen says that he usually could get 2 bottles, but the price has gone up, so he can only get 1 for the money the buyer is offering. This makes the guy angry, and that's exactly what Chen needs to level up. Later, Old Man Wang passes by. He says he's taking some water to Li Yun and her kid. Chen tells him to watch out for himself, but the old guy's an angel, saying he's lived long enough and can't stand seeing kids suffer. After Li Yun takes the water, she decides to act even more needy next time. So Old Man Wang brings more. She goes to another apartment and gives her water bottle to Zhao, saying this is today's offering. Mu Chang tells Chen that a third person canceled their trade tonight, which is definitely suspicious. Suddenly a crowd appears, accusing Chen of getting people addicted to his commercial water, but he just taunts them back, asking if they'd rather drink piss instead. The group leader steps out saying they are the followers of the pure water, and the only person who can purify the water is Zhao Chen, and Chen's like, bruh, what? The guy explains that the global heat is God's punishment, and Zhao is God's messenger here to bring them salvation. They order Chen to hand over his water so it can be purified too, and also to join their cult, but Chen refuses, and calls them weak cowards. The leader stays calm, saying that Chen hasn't seen Zhao's miracles. Chen says that if his water is evil, drinking it should bring divine punishment, and he gulps it down, even spilling some, which gets the cult mad and nets Chen more negative emotion upgrade points. Chen then tells them that he'll give a barrel of water to whoever insults Zhao, a barrel per insult, and this enrages the leader, while the other followers ask if Chen really means it. They are stopped by the leader, but another one calls Zhao a son of a bitch, and the cultist sees the guy immediately. Chen comments that the guy isn't destined to get his water after all, as the cultists take him away. After they leave, Chen tells Mu Chang that he'll need to take care of these guys, and we see him reach their church later. He decides to learn more about Zhao first, and sees a girl on the ground at Zhao's feet. He takes out a bottle of water and pours it on the girl as she comes back to her senses, with people yelling that Zhao cured her heat stroke with just a couple of drops of water. Chen doesn't know if Zhao also awakened a skill or if the woman is a plant. She begs Zhao to let her serve him, and seeing her assets, he can't deny her. His followers bring him more water, but they spot Chen there too. Chen says he's come to seek forgiveness and falls down in prostration in front of Zhao. He says he'll give them all his filthy water, but Zhao keeps his stoicism, saying that God will offer a second chance to anyone. Chen thanks him, but one guy runs in saying that Liyun's daughter fainted. They don't understand how, since she drank holy water, and Liyun begs Zhao to save her child. Zhao comments that if the holy water didn't work, they aren't true believers, and tells her to seek repentance, promising a true miracle tomorrow. The group leader from earlier gives Chen an armband he needs to wear at all times, and Chen complies and puts it on. After they leave, he thinks they're idiots for not figuring out he installed a transmitter in the water bottles, which allows him to find their storage, which is brimming with all kinds of supplies. He then hears Zhao and the woman from earlier talking, as he tells her that her act was really bad last time. She apologizes, saying that using her power puts a strain on her body, and hearing this, Chen realizes that the woman is actually awakened, not Zhao. The scene shifts to Liyun's daughter, as Chen reaches her and gives her 3 bottles of water. She asks who he is, but he just tells her to drink it all. The following day, people gather to witness Zhao's miracle. He sits down in a yoga pose, completely immune to the scorching heat, which convinces the people he's actually God's messenger. But Chen knows he's using that woman's power. Chen still doesn't know what her ability is exactly, but decides to try blocking her spatial connection to Zhao, which actually works, and Zhao starts sweating immediately. He tells her to come closer, but she knows someone's blocking her skill, as she spots Chen in the crowd. Chen gave her a letter saying he'll take care of Zhao and rule instead, with her by his side promising he'll treat her well. That's why she decides to ignore Zhao and walk to Chen. She hugs him from behind and says her ability allows her and her target to reduce heat, but slamming those milkers on his back would just make his temperature reach the moon. She says she can control which areas of the body the heat dissipates from, and leaves Chen's head unprotected. This causes him to experience heat stroke and nearly faint as the milk factory workers watch him fall. We see her backstory, where she saved a cat from dehydration and discovered her skill that way. However, she had an abusive father who wanted to pimp her out for water, but Zhao saved her and recruited her because he saw that she had awakened a skill. Back in the present, Chen is kneeling down. He quickly cuts down one of the followers, and the crowd immediately calls him a demon. He tells everyone that Zhao is a liar and that he has proof. Suddenly, Liyun's daughter peeks out from the crowd, but her mom insists that her daughter is healthy now, thanks to praying to Zhao's god all night. People immediately trust her and want to take Chen down, but the daughter calls them all brain-damaged idiots and explains that Chen saved her last night by giving her water with electrolytes. Everyone is left shocked by this when suddenly a gunshot echoes, and the woman falls to the ground with Zhao shooting her. But Chen stops the bullet with his space distortion skill. Zhao suddenly becomes like the Incredible Hulk, as Chen realizes he took Liyun's mutation serum. Zhao charges at Chen and tackles him, and both of them start falling from the balcony. He cries that he was always a loser and became someone thanks to the apocalypse, but Chen ruined that too. Suddenly, the system lets Chen know that he unlocked a new space warp skill, and he teleports out with Zhao slamming into the ground alone, ending up with a Stephen Hawking physique. People continue calling Chen a demon after witnessing all of this, but he just checks on the woman and figures she must have fainted from straining her body, since she has no wounds. He summons a bottle of water to help her, and as people try to interfere, Chen coldly tells them to stand back. They surround him and grab hands, starting to play Ring Around the Rosie, thinking this will push the demon out of Chen, but the only things that get pushed out are their intestines after Chen decapitates them all. He gives the woman a bottle of water and tells her Zhao is dead. Suddenly, Liyun's daughter yells for her mom as she jumps from the balcony, because she realized her god was a lie. The girl, Alan, cries but tells Chen that her mom chose Zhao over her, so she will be fine without her. Later in Chen's apartment, he, Alan, and Li Jing are talking, as he explains that Zhao was just using her. Alan calls Li Jing beautiful and says that Zhao was hiding his true identity from her the whole time, which makes Li Jing think that Zhao likes men because he didn't want her. We see Chen recruiting Zhao's surviving followers, bribing them with water. When they come to take the water from Chen later, they have to hand over their properties for it, as Chen explains that his plan is to get the entire building and turn it into an apocalypse fortress for himself. Chen knows that the heat will only continue to grow, so if he wants to survive, he needs to turn the entire building into a survival fortress. However, after a month of intense heat, the temperature goes down for a while as people go back to their normal daily lives. Chen wants to use this lower temperature period to renovate the entire building. Alan is still staying with him, so he asks when she's leaving, and she asks if he's really kicking her out, as she zaps a mosquito, saying her ability should be useful to Chen for dealing with these giant-ass mosquitoes. Chen lets her stay because he will need her ability to generate power later on. Alan runs out to check on Lei Xing, and Chen allowed Lei Xing to stay in one of his apartments because her ability will be super useful to him as well. He knocks on her door and goes in since it was unlocked, only to see her fresh out of the shower as she yells, calling him a perv, so he storms out quickly. He asks if she doesn't regret joining him, and she responds that she knows he's letting her stay because of her ability, but at least he's not manipulating her like Zhao did. As days pass, the three of them stay and work together. It's been a week now since the heat paused, and we see all the people living in Chen's building now. Old Man Wang and Lei Xing are on the second floor, Mu Chang and Yu Yu on the third floor, and Alan on the fourth. Chen spots a group of people down the street as they talk about how that guy took over the entire building. Their leader says they need to retake it, but Chen dealt with them faster than I'd deal with Lei Jing under those sheets. Him dealing with all the new gangs made the rest of the gangs stay away from his building for good. The scene shifts to the government command center, where a colonel says it's fishy that the crime rate in the city is growing, except for that one neighborhood that's been completely peaceful lately. He orders one of his soldiers to find out more about it, since he's got a feeling something abnormal is going on. A woman shows the colonel footage from the church on the day when a lot of people were slaughtered there, where they can clearly see Chen vanishing from Zhao's grip and reappearing on the balcony. The soldiers reach Chen's building and crack open the doors. They burst in only to see a little girl, so they decide to subdue her first. But she's not going to that island, so she uses her skill and goes Pikachu on their asses. Chen walks in, asking what the hell is going on, and Alan says she might have gotten them in trouble. A whole army gathers in front of his building 30 minutes later, with the colonel ordering Chen to turn himself in. Everyone in the building is woken up and wonders why there's an army at their doorstep, but Chen orders them to just stay inside because he'll handle it. He goes out and asks why the soldiers broke into his home in the middle of the night, and the colonel says they know Chen has superpowers and he needs to pay taxes on them. Of course, if he's willing to cooperate and let them research him, they'll forget what happened tonight. But Chen refuses, since being a lab rat is not on his bucket list, and Chen blocks literal tank rounds with his barrier. Being a good sport, he says they can have their ammo back as he makes it rain down on them, destroying their helicopters. The colonel yells that he never expected Chen to be this strong, and says they concede, but adds that Chen will need to join them sooner or later because the current heat pause will end soon, which Chen knew all along. The colonel asks Chen to help them save humanity, but he says he's not here to be a hero, especially since he knows this world is headed toward the age of anarchy, but there is one thing they could do for him, and he'd help them a little bit in return. The colonel says they'll accept anything, and Chen asks them to use military-grade equipment to turn his building into a doomsday fortress. The army starts their work the next day, and as soon as the colonel spots Lei Jing, he asks about her, of course, but Chen comments that she's his secretary. First they place high-intensity solar arrays, next is a high-grade military backup generator, then they put a protective layer on the outer walls that is bulletproof, fireproof, and insulated. Next they install reinforced access control and a blast protection system, and as the days pass and upgrades are installed, all of Chen's residents are left in disbelief. Now it's Chen's turn to fulfill his end of the deal as the army does their research on him. The scientists explain that this isn't just a normal heat increase, but that it is affecting people and making them adapt and evolve like Chen, awakening new skills. The problem is that in the future, it won't be just humans that evolve. The army colonel asks Chen why he's so relaxed, and Chen says he's not the only person who's awakened and rats on the Ark Guild, spilling all the tea he has on them. As one of the soldiers analyzes the footage Chen is in, she spots Mu Chang and immediately recognizes him as the high-risk missing target the army's looking for. After the army's done with their research on Chen's body, he heads home but is stopped by the colonel, who asks Chen if he knows the person in the picture because he's wanted by the army and they have proof he's staying in Chen's building. Chen responds that that's probably not going to happen, and suddenly two guards try to seize Chen, but he teleports away saying the negotiations failed. The colonel orders them to stop upgrading Chen's building, because their new mission is to capture Chen and Mu Kang. They're already at Mu Kang's window, but the building's defenses activate and zap them off. Lei Jing hears some noise and tries to open the window to see what's going on, but the windows are blocked because the defense mechanism is activated. Every resident is confused as more soldiers blast the building's entrance with bazookas. Old Man Wang wonders why the army is attacking them when they were upgrading their building. Not too long ago, when suddenly Chen teleports back and is ready to whoop some ass. As civilians gather to spectate, the army stops firing so they don't harm the innocent, as the colonel explains that they'll withdraw all their military equipment if Chen won't turn in the criminal he's sheltering. Chen just waves his hand and summons containers of equipment from his personal storage, and says that he got the military and hospital materials here, and he'll assemble his fortress on his own without the help of the army. The colonel immediately figures that Chen has a spatial storage skill and warns that the heat will only go up, which will cause their country to fall into chaos, and that in order to stop this, the army is planning a large-scale project known as Project Firmament. It's a layered thermal insulation structure where the cities would be sealed underground to avoid the extremely high temperatures on the surface. He again asks Chen to help them out because his spatial storage skill would be extremely useful, but Chen calls that a hassle, and says that if they wanted his help, they wouldn't have tried to blow up his building minutes ago. The colonel tells Chen to cool down for a couple of days, which is ironic in their current situation, and to reach out to them if he changes his mind. After the army leaves, Mu Chang comes to Chen's apartment that night, ready to share all possibly valuable intel he might have. He says that while he was in the army, he found out that they were trying to supply foreign forces with high-grade technology designed for extremely high temperatures. They arrested him when he tried to report it, so he managed to escape with those high-grade weapons. Before they continue talking, Chen stops him because he's heard something, and he looks outside and sees a new possible harem addition. Chen teleports outside to rizz her up. He asks who she is, and I guess she doesn't understand English because she responds with all the info about Chen, including his childhood and all. Then she says her name is Alyssa, and Chen asks why she's here. She asks how long he predicts his shelter will last in the heat apocalypse, and tells him about Project Firmament. One problem with this project is that they will have to leave most of humanity to die. Chen asks what this has to do with him, and Alyssa explains that she's from the M Nation, and asks Chen to work with them, because they're the only ones trying to save the entirety of humanity. Chen asks if she's serious about wanting him to commit treason, and she says that he can get anything if he joins her, even an infinite supply of milk produced by her. Chen slaps her hand away, saying he doesn't like being manipulated, so Alyssa points a gun at him, which at this point is like using a sprinkler to stop this apocalypse. Her bullet is stopped by Chen's spatial skill, but she says that's exactly what she wanted, because her goal was to scan his skill. She sees that his power level is over 9,000, thanks to that church incident. Chen comments that he doesn't like people peeking at his stats, and uses a skill that basically summons a shit stain on Alyssa's pants, and she gets terrified after seeing his power. She uses a smoke bomb to run away, and Chen knows that his ability being exposed like this will only spell trouble in the future. The following day, Li Jing is instructing the construction workers on how to install all these special materials, and not too long after, Chen's Doomsday Fortress is fully complete. The scene shifts to Alyssa talking to her master. This guy says that Chen has potential, but if that potential cannot be used by him, then they'll have to deal with Chen, but killing him would be way too gentle, as he licks his prickly teeth, saying that he's got a better plan for Chen. Yu is on her way to finish up some business for Chen, but a hooded guy kidnaps her. She wakes up in front of Liu, as Liu comments that they kidnapped her to get to Chen. Liu says that if Yu lures Chen here, they'll spare her, but Yu just laughs, saying they can't really believe that they can stop Chen. Liu doesn't answer, and just orders Yu to lure him here. She refuses, saying Chen will find her anyway because she has a tracker between her tits, which makes Liu laugh because that's exactly what they want, Chen to leave his fortress. As they wait for Chen, Liu calls one of her thugs to have some fun with Yu, but is stopped by a literal tank bursting into their base. The colonel and the army arrive and restrain them immediately. Yu asks why they came, and the colonel explains that Chen let him know about this, and protecting Chen's residence is his mission now. They bring Yu back as Chen thanks them for honoring their part of the deal. He'll cooperate with the army to protect his friends, but he's going to use them as his pawns. The tank carrying the recently caught criminals drives off as we get a quick backstory of Lu's amazing life. She was homeless after Chen killed the mafia boss, but then the pointy-teeth guy's thugs kidnapped her. She tried to escape but was restrained and experimented on. They injected her with the mutation serum, and as we return to the present, she smirks, her body becomes fluid, and she escapes from the handcuffs and the tank she was in. Li Jing and Chen are talking about their strategy for dispersing water to his followers, and her cute smile makes my bro blush for the first time in this timeline. Suddenly, Lu comes for Chen through the water pipe, and he gets ready to use his space ability, but she just turns into water, saying she'll make sure he dies today. He sends the cut attack, but you can't cut water, little bro. He gets slammed by a gigantic water blast, and I wouldn't like to be the guy to make that woman wet. Li Jing picks him up as the water mommy begins forming, ready to finish Chen off once and for all. Chen opens his storage ability to suck her in, but it doesn't work as long as she stays in her water form. She attacks him with just her head, so basically she's about to give him head. He blocks the attack with his barrier skill, but some water goes through and forms bubbles around Chen's and Li Jing's heads as she begins to suffocate them. Lu starts laughing hysterically, finally able to get her revenge. She thanks Chen for making her go through hell, because that's what made her evolve and become strong, but Chen just tells her to stop yapping. Li Jing touches the water bubble around her head and uses her heat dissipation skill, lowering Liu's body heat completely and making her freeze instead. Liu comments that if she freezes the bubble on her head, she'll die too, but Li Jing says she's not afraid because Chen's got her back. Chen cuts the ice off her head, and Liu can't believe Chen almost sliced his woman's brain up, but Chen just says women have no brains, so it's fine. He then cuts Liu's frozen body into tiny ice cubes. The scene shifts back to the vampire bro, and we see he's legit obsessed with Chen's picture framed on his desk. He calls forth his 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and tells them it's time for them to move.